What's up, guys? I'm Steve. In this video, I'm going to be going over maybe some players that got overlooked on your waiver wires. Maybe they're still out there. There's probably a good chance a lot of these guys got picked up, but there is still that slim chance that they're out there. I apologize for how late this video is coming out. Been battling a flu bug the last few days. I appreciate you guys bearing with me here. And before I get into it here, I really appreciate it if you like this video, just put a like on it. And I just really appreciate that. Thank you. So let's just get right into it here. So these are my overlooked waiver wire claims for week 14. And again, I think a lot of these guys are taken, but we're gonna start here with Cam Akers. I'm sure he was a priority for almost everybody, but well, I wanted to wait to talk about Cam Akers until after the waiver period ended. Now I'm sure you wouldn't consider Cam Akers as a overlooked type of waiver wire claim. I say overlooked in the sense of Cam Akers' TDs doesn't change how bad the Rams offense is. That's how I look at it. They just added Baker Mayfield. I mean, I really feel that's all you need to hear. But, there's a big but. 2 TDs does make us interested in warranting him in our lineups, or something piques our interest with 2 TDs, obviously. It seems he's once again playing over Kyren Williams, at least for the moment. Kyren Williams only had 4 touches all game in week 13. Cam Akers, he played over 70% of the snaps. We want to see more yardage, but if you're getting TDs, that doesn't really matter. Until there's a switchback, Cam Akers does seem like the guy and can serve as a flex if you need him in matchup based. Something like that. I mean, I'm not going to pick up Cam Akers. I'll just say that. So jump into another running back here. Probably the name that's been mostly forgotten about in the Seattle Seahawks backfield here. Travis Homer. 1% owned, so he's not owned really. Rostered rather. We're really digging deep. Really digging deep. Travis Homer, he was ruled out of Week 13's matchup with an illness, and then a knee sprain popped up later on. I'm not sure, I'm not one to suggest an injured player to pick up, but with the considerations of DJ Dallas and his high ankle sprain, Kenneth Walker and his ankle injury, and the whole turmoil that is the Seattle Seahawks backfield, I think Travis Homer can maybe potentially carve out a role. I think his knee injury is lesser severity than DJ Dallas's high ankle sprain and Kenneth Walker's ankle issue. In week 12 against the Las Vegas Raiders, Travis Homer, he only had 2 rushes for 8 yards. Nothing crazy. 4 yards of carry is not bad, though. But he chipped in receiving with 2 catches for 45 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. Obviously, there is a lot to monitor with this backfield, and I am unfortunately posting this video late. So maybe at this point, there's a little more clarity. So now we're going to jump to a wide receiver here of the Las Vegas Raiders. Mac Hollins, he's 30% rostered. Another player I wanted to wait until after the waiver period to talk about quickly with him and Cam Akers. I just don't want people rushing to grab these types of players who have proven to be mostly busts this year. So that's kind of where I stand with players like Cam Akers and Mac Hollins. But back to Mac Hollins, he does have a full-time role in this offense. There's still no Darren Waller. There's still potentially no Hunter Renfrow this week. Outside, obviously, Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, it's tough to find any sort of fantasy production out of any sort of skill player not named Devontae Adams or Josh Jacobs. But Mac Hollins, he has been serviceable. If you need him, there's 6 teams on bye. Why not? What else we got here? We got Julio Jones. So Julio Jones is kind of a weird one. Not weird, but he's only 18% owned. Another boomer bust type player. That just seems to be what it is with Julio now at this point in his career. It's looking like Julio, he's getting more and more healthy. Week 13, he was mostly held in check up until that really slick grab he had on the sidelines there near the end of the game. His route participation has been slowly increasing. He has 2 games with PFF grade above 75. He has a tough matchup this week against the 49ers, but after that, the schedule is pretty favorable. So if you do need a receiver, I mean, I know Julio Jones as well. Julio Jones, you know what you're getting with Julio Jones, but he's getting healthier. He plays with Tom Brady. The Tampa offense is stacked. What's not to like? So, another player here. I'm going to be making another short video on this player specifically as well, but Kadarius Toney, he's 41% rostered. I'm sure a lot of people dropped him after that initial hamstring injury. Maybe you didn't if you had an IR spot, but he's looking like he's returning to practice this week. I think he was supposed to return to practice yesterday. I wanted to get this video out yesterday, but in saying that, Kadarius Toney should have a solid role in this offense with Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdez-Scantling and obviously Travis Kelce. Week 10 was the only real glimpse we have seen with him in a Chiefs uniform. He had the 4 catches on 5 targets, averaging almost over 14 yards a catch. He had 57 receiving yards and a receiving TD. He also chipped in 2 rushes for 33 rushing yards. It's not much. It's a very small sample size, but the upside, the talent, everything is there, and you're probably in the best possible offense to exploit that talent with Patrick Mahomes. So if he's out there, go grab him for your fantasy playoffs, and hopefully them hamstrings hold up. But yeah, another player. I think that's the last player I got here. I mentioned him before, Elijah Moore. He's a pretty deep ad here. I briefly talked about Elijah Moore and the impact Mike White would have on Elijah Moore now that he was under center. And I think it did pay dividend because we do see the results for the most part comparing Mike White and Zach Wilson's production with Elijah Moore. Now with Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis are the clear number 1 and 2 guys. But it's looking like there is enough passing volume to maybe give Elijah Moore the odd boom week. And with 6 teams on bye this week, the Bills secondary has been leaky this year. Hey, why, 6 teams on bye. Why not take a gander? But yeah, I think that's all I got for here. Again, if you guys liked this video, I'd really appreciate it if you put a like on it, and I hope I see you in the next one.